Isn't it the case? Every time I come and have a good time, after it something happens and ruins it. Eh? Like I laughed, 5 minutes later, something happened, spoiled all my happiness, gone. Don't worry. The Lord is going to reward you and make you laugh again. But guess what? You will never find Christ, really find Christ, unless you go through persecution. The narrow gate. In the narrow gate, that's where you meet Jesus face to face. Believe. I put my life on the line on this one. In the good times, you believe in Him, but you don't see Him. In the bad times, when you are alone, deserted by all your family, deserted by your loved ones, persecuted, cast out, rejected. When you are alone, you live that loneliness. You live that desolate moment in your life. That moment you don't believe in Jesus. You get to know Jesus. You see Him face to face. I mentioned Pope Cyril VI as my sweetheart. I'll leave you with this. No, I'll really leave you with this. Pope Cyril VI, I'm probably mentioned because I love this guy. That's why, this holy man I should say. I love him. That's why I mention him. It was the opening of the big cathedral in Al-Abbasiyya. This is in Cairo. So, Pope Cyril, he is the head of the church. The opening of this big, massive cathedral. One day you go to Egypt, go and visit this cathedral. It's massive. So anyway, the president of Egypt, which was Jamal Abdel Nasser at the time, was present. Ministers, delegates of all walks of life, from the church, from the secular world, millions of people watching, thousands of people present there for the opening of this. It was an historical day. Anyway, at the end of it, Pope Cyril and his personal secretary, which was a deacon at the time, his secretary was sitting in the car to go back where he resides. And on the way, the deacon is speaking with joy and happiness, and he is on cloud 9. And he says, Pope, what you did today is unheard of. This has gone into history. People will never forget this historical event. Amazing what you've achieved and what Christ has done through you. And he said, as I turned to the Pope, I looked at him and his face was full of sadness. To my shocking surprise, I said, Sayyidina, Your Holiness, why are you sad? You should be the happiest man on earth. He said, my son, leave me alone, please. You don't understand. He said, what is it? Your Holiness, tell me. He said, my son, what you said is right. Yes, it is a historical event. It's gone into history. People will never forget. The president himself was here. Delegates from all walks of life were here. Thousands and millions of people watched this moment of opening this great cathedral. Yes, I saw all these wonderful people that you said. But do you know why I am sad? Because 1 hour that I spend in the windmill in the desert, I do not replace that hour for this entire glory that you're talking about. You know why, my son? Because in this opening day, I saw everyone except Jesus. In the windmill, when I was alone in the desert, I saw no one but Jesus. My son, my joy and happiness when I see my Lord, not people. What would people do for me? It is the Lord. The windmill was desolate, was a ruin, had no roof, in the middle of nowhere. Vicious animals, poisonous animals, and robbers were going and coming throughout the day there. He lived in that windmill for 6 years. He said, 1 hour of those 6 years, I will not replace with the entire world's glory, because that hour I met face to face with my Lord. This is priceless, irreplaceable. Love the Lord and live for Him. Come to church and bring more people. Let's work for the Lord. Let's glorify His holy name. Don't worry what you are and who you are and what your backgrounds, what color you are. Come and glorify the name of Christ for Christ's sake. Come and work for the Lord. The time is pressing. The time is pressing. There's no time to waste. Win souls for the Lord before it's too late.